Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Demon's Souls live stream series. I haven't said those words since July, not of this year, but of last year. July 2021 was the last time I was recording this game. And I suppose it's necessary and also important to explain why I haven't recorded this game for so long. I don't exactly have an audience of people who have been sitting here just, wallowing in misery over the fact that I haven't been recording and uploading Demon's Souls content to my channel. So that would be the first thing. I have no incentive to record it because there's barely anyone who watches it or cares about it. There's like one guy. So, and he's stuck around. He actually watches me still occasionally, so that's nice of him. But outside of him, there's like no one who watches my Demon's Souls stuff. Second of all, I got a little bit sick of the game. This is my 70th live stream of this game. And, I needed about a year and a half of a break to be able to play it again. And I'm going to be monitoring the volume of the game, by the way. It's been ages since I recorded it, obviously, so I don't really know what looks good and what doesn't. So, well, what sounds good and what doesn't. I sort of just said something random because I was getting distracted by something else. What I really mean is that the setup process is not clear to me because I haven't done it for so long, so I'm essentially feeling my way through it. As for what I'm doing in the game right now, I think I've more or less done everything that I want to do that is going to be a substantial change to the build. There is no adjustment to the build that I can think of that I want to make. This is my Moon Claymore. I believe that's fully upgraded. Yeah, it would be. I don't think it goes beyond +5. This is my standard Bastard Sword. That one can be upgraded to +10, so I might see what I need to forge that. This here is my Crescent Moon Uchigatana. Or Dark Moon, sorry, that's what it's called. Dark Moon Uchigatana. And quite frankly, I just have no expectation of acquiring pure Dark Moonstone, as I would have mentioned when I was last playing through this build, and I likely mentioned something along those lines when I was first doing this character in whatever it was, January or February of 2019. So, yeah. Pure Dark Moonstone is a bit of a tall order. I have no specific expectation of acquiring it, although it is technically possible. My Insanity Catalyst doesn't upgrade, so I'm fine with that. Shield is fully upgraded. And, yeah, I think, quite frankly, we are just getting through the game. I don't know what I have left to do. Apparently, so the fact that this music is playing, if you can hear it, would indicate that I have killed one of two archdemons, and that would be either Maiden Estrella or the False King, Allant. So obviously I've killed King Allant, and I have no need to return to that Archstone, at least as far as game progression is concerned. We have completed all Archstones except for Archstone Archstone 5? Yeah, I was correct. I was preempting my announcement because I hadn't actually checked World 4, but yeah, World 4 appears to be complete. In fact, it definitely is, because I wouldn't have access to that final Archstone if it were not. I have to tell you that I have not played this game since I last recorded it, and even when I last recorded it, it had been a long time since I last played it. So if I am at all out of sorts or seemingly out of my depth, it might be for that reason. I really haven't played recently, so my mind is not going to be properly absorbed into the mechanics of the game. I have played Souls games, obviously, but yeah, it's just going to feel a little odd. I may always feel just a little bit out of sorts when returning to this game, because I don't anticipate a frequent recording of this series that I have here going forward. There may be sporadic periods of time where I'll do maybe 3 recordings in a week. That's unlikely. Maybe 3 recordings in a month, or 4 recordings in a month. But that's only going to happen if I really enjoy a particular build that I'm working on. At the end of the day, Demon's Souls is a low priority for me on this channel. It's just for my personal enjoyment. And, you know, I felt like coming on and doing some Demon's Souls for the first time in a while, so that's why I'm doing it. When I mentioned the fact that I don't really have an audience that watches Demon's Souls, while that is true, it's never that would prevent me from recording something, you know? I do things for my own enjoyment first, and then if other people enjoy it, that's great. It doesn't matter how few, I always hope that someone will be able to enjoy it in the future. That's why it goes up on YouTube. Sadly, that generally doesn't happen, but, you know, if it got no views when it was uploaded, it'll probably never get any views at all. But, anyway, let's not be pessimistic about it. The point is that the main reason why I stopped playing was because I had played too much, and I needed a break. It's interesting just to feel the game right now, how it moves, how it operates. Feels so clean, actually. Obviously, having played Elden Ring, now keep in mind, Elden Ring wasn't out when I last played this game, which might, for some of you, give a clearer idea as to just how long it's been. It was July of 2021. I think Elden Ring came out, what was it? March or something of 2022? And it's almost 2023, it's currently the 12th of December of the year of 2022. So, yeah, it's worth... Oh, come on. How did I not successfully circle around you? The question of the day, to be sure. But yeah, essentially the point that I was trying to make, I didn't actually get to the point. I will now. It's that I've played a lot of modern Souls games and sequels to Souls games. Id Est, Elden Ring. And essentially, it does make this game feel a bit more dated. You know, with every year that passes, this game starts to feel just a little bit less clean, a little less smooth, a little less timeless. Which is a shame, but it's inevitable. It's that way with any game, quite frankly. The more time passes, the less you're going to get that same feeling you got when it first came out. It's going to start to feel like a game from 2009. And you know, I wouldn't go so far as to say that this feels like a game from 2009. I'd say games were probably more or less like this between 2009 and 2012, maybe? No, maybe not even 2012. Although I'm sure some games would have been coming out at that time that still were fairly unremarkable in terms of animations and graphics and all of that. But I'd say, generally speaking, there's maybe a 3-year period where it would be acceptable for a game like this to have come out. But yeah, it's believable that this came out in 2009. The reality is that this game was really, really nice for the time. Visually, at least to me. It was very clean, very attractive. And overall, the game was just damn good. You can see that while this is a magic build, I'm not using any magic at all. I, at this stage, would like to reacclimate myself to Demon's Souls by actually engaging in something a little more mechanical than just casting magic. Like swinging a sword around, for instance. And that's a little bit more enjoyable at this stage. Just standard shielding and then swinging a weapon. Yeah, whatever. As long as I don't get overrun, I'll be fine coming through here. Invulnerability period courtesy of that. And then you'll see the piercing effect of the Soul Ray, I believe it's called. Will be fairly useful here. Except for when it totally misses its target, which I believe is what just happened. I don't know what really caused that. Needless to say, there is little margin for error here. I do have a lot of health, but this is an amount of health that is to be expected at New Game Plus level. And quite frankly, my defense is not great. I'm using a very fashion-focused set. It's because I'm a female character, I am using sorcery, therefore I want to use Yuria the Witch's set. That is the situation. It's an aesthetic, not a functional outfit designed to defend myself from, or protect myself from enemies. I do understand that there is a bit of danger in the corner here. It's been some time since they caught me by surprise. I'm currently sitting on 360,559 souls. That's a lot, actually. I have a feeling that maybe this is from the False King and I never leveled up. That's alright, we'll carry these souls into the next boss. I can live with that. It's a little dangerous, but I'll just double down on my magic damage. I'll whip out the Insanity Catalyst with the Crisp Blade and just fire off some soul arrows and such. This is definitely not the sort of magic that I thought I would have equipped at this stage in the game. I suppose... Oh, I understand what it is. Warding was the focus of my magic selection. Or the magic that I had equipped for the False King fight. So ordinarily I wouldn't be carrying warding. That's a bit excessive, even at this stage in the game. Warding is just disgustingly overpowered, it has to be said. I used it for the False King fight because it was a sensible thing to be using. Probably not excessive for that fight, to be honest. I'm not going to use homing soul arrow. Just use this. I bet you're not even dead. How did I guess? Yeah, it's good for a bit of ranged magic. Just want to keep away from the effects of the exploding insects. Whatever they are called. I'm sure they've got a name. And I'm sure I had a way in which to refer to them in the past. I just don't remember what that is. It'd be nice if I had... Oh no. Yeah, God's Wrath, probably not. Something I'd be using in this build anyway. Hello. How are you going? What sort of... Well, the damage that I'm dealing is really insufficient. Yeah, this is lovely. Just need to survive. You see, when I said need to survive, it has to be understood that there's nothing I could have fucking done. The invulnerability period that I had did not actually match my standing up animation. Okay. Now, interestingly, I do have the Cling Ring equipped. I found out that I had the Cling Ring equipped before I started the recording, but I had actually neglected to unequip it in favor of probably the Ring of Magical Sharpness, for example. But, yeah, it's sadly now useful to have on hand, which pisses me off. I have 360,000 souls on my Bloodstain right now, which is just so far from being acceptable that it's almost humorous. Because even in this... No, don't you dare. Look at this. When I said there's no margin for error, this is precisely what I was referring to. Full Moon was a little bit over the top there. I've got Full Moon on hand just to really prevent any significant loss of life. The reason why I'm not using Ephemeral Eye Stones... Maybe I really should fucking use it. Should I do it? I don't want to be pursued by you. Oh my god. Because I'm concerned about being pursued by them, I will kill them here and then continue running. The reason why I don't want to use Ephemeral Eye Stones is because, you know, it feels like a waste naturally if I'm about to go and kill the boss, but... Yeah, I've only got 4 of them on hand. Maybe I was using them strategically at one point, you know, killing myself intentionally for some reason or another, I don't know. Or I was playing like shit and I've only got 4 because I've been dying a lot naturally. I don't really know. There is one thing I do know, however. And that is that I'm not actually going to take the chance of... you know what I mean. Losing my souls. What happened to the piercing capability of Soul Ray? Seriously. I do need to make sure that I've got enough MP to recast warding once it runs out. Do you know what almost just happened? That was a completely unintentional roll also. Like, I did not mean to roll. Stop it. I can't see where I am. I actually can't see anything. The environment is in my way. Oh, interestingly, the ladder is... well, it's not that interesting, to be honest. It's understandable. Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'll just put myself in a corner surrounded by enemies. That's such a good idea. The situation was that I was trying to go up that walkway, and then I got pushed off by the enemy, which is always there. Sometimes I can slightly sneak past him, but usually he does need to be killed in order to get past him. But more importantly, while I was trying to reposition myself to get back on there, the environment was just glitching all over my screen. I couldn't fucking see anything. It was just the environment in the way, because that particular area is a little bit awkward. It's small, and when the camera is pointing in certain directions, it's basically the environment in my face, not where I want to be moving. Unwanted visual information is how I would describe that. Warding is, well, there you go. There's 360,000 souls lost. The stupidity of that really is beyond any justification on my part, like, or beyond any excuse, I suppose. I can't really explain why I was doing that. That's my hubris, I suppose, in a way. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to be dying in 5-1, but I am, because I'm playing stupidly and I'm also not really in the right frame of mind. I'm a lot less in the right frame of mind after having lost 360,000 souls, which in New Game Plus is just an obscene amount of souls. In New Game, it would just be enough to quit the run, okay? So, yeah, that was fucking bad. That's bad news, and, you know, whatever. The best way to approach the situation was probably just to patiently and slowly make my way through the area each time. The reason why I was taking so much damage and the reason why I died before, or that last time, which caused me to lose my souls, was because I got caught by the flaming spears, and warding increases your physical defense, not your fire defense, and it is fire damage that is chiefly harming you when you're getting hit by a flaming pike, or whatever the fuck, I'll just call it a spear. If I call it a pike, you'll think I'm actually referring to the weapon. But, that was simply a description of the thing being thrust at me. Yeah, I'm very fucking pissed off about that. Very fucking pissed off. Of course you get more souls in New Game Plus generally, but come on, like 360,000, don't plague me, motherfucker. I don't want to deal with these rats, so I'm going to kill them. I'd rather not bother, but I want to be able to deal with the giant depraved one without fear of backing up onto rats and then getting plagued. I trust you'll agree that that's an acceptable course of action. Alright. I was wanting at least one Stone of Ephemeral. Oh no, it's Shard of Archstone actually. It's not Stone of Ephemeral Eyes that drop from. So, how I'm going to approach this is I'll actually use the Crisp Blade and just go magic only. Hopefully that's going to be okay. Yeah, it's noticeably more damage compared with what I was getting last time when I wasn't using the Crisp Blade, but it's still not amazing. I'm so pissed off about dying and losing all of those souls. You know, if I just played the same way that time as I'm playing now, we wouldn't be in this situation. But I couldn't help myself. I made a conscious decision to play like shit. But I guess part of it was also expecting warding to sponge most of the damage, which gave me license to be a little less careful about how I was approaching things, but of course, I would come to realize that, or come to be reminded of the fact, that indeed, fire damage is not absorbed in any way by warding, even if it is totally insufficiently. Not in any sort of way that would have helped. As evidenced by the fact that I pretty much got two-shot by those guys, despite, you know, well, no, my health was kind of low. Because it was reduced. Come on, just target the fucker. I just want you to explode, that's all I need. Thank you. I do have more giant depraved ones to contend with up ahead. I'm using the Thief's Ring. Well, we'll get some more wine in the meantime. I realize that losing 360,000 souls in most cases would be cause for extreme frustration. Like, I should be irate right now. The reason why I'm not is because I haven't played in a year and a half, and this character doesn't mean as much to me anymore. That's not really going to stunt my character's progress that much in the really long term. 360,000 souls at this soul level 102 is probably like 4 or 5 level ups. That's a complete guess. It could be even less than that, to be honest. I don't know. But I don't think it's that many level ups. I know there's other spear guys. I want to deal with the giant depraved one, please. There you go. Crisp Blade. I was hoping to be able to get the small one too. Well, let's try to pierce the giant one through the small one. That's good. Not the Crisp Blade! Oh my god. Don't have a repeat of that fucking situation where I'm getting swung at while I'm still down. Prick. Got your tongue hanging out, giant-nosed creature. That giant nose hasn't helped you sniff me out. He didn't know where on earth I was. I was hiding underneath him. Alright, now we've got this boss up ahead. The Leechmonger. That's what he's called. Good old Demon Souls indeed. It would be a whole lot better if I didn't lose 360,000 souls by playing like an idiot. I mean, obviously, it was the biggest mistake of all to just go and depart. Or rather, embark upon a journey through World 5.1, but it's 5.1, come on. Ordinarily, I suppose it would be fine, but not in fucking New Game Plus. You make it back. I suppose that's one way to look at it. I really should have my fire magic for this. The fact that I don't is just... it's bordering upon an embarrassment. But obviously I was ill-prepared coming into this Archstone, so it is what it is. Drop down to this level, that should be fine. We do still need to be careful. I think I'm within his range. If I'm not, then great, but... oh, fuck off. You do step forward slightly when you cast magic. That'd be right. See, I don't know the sort of damage that he's dealing. I've got no way of knowing, but apparently that's a one-shot. If I'm at Kling Ring health. What a fucking joke, seriously. Yep. Let's just change to fire magic. So annoying. Absolutely sick of it. Obviously, for those who are unaware of this fact, I mention it because A-Gaming mentioned the remake. I still haven't played it. I'm not opposed to playing it. It's just that I really can't. Oh dear. Well, 64,000 souls is a pretty high soul requirement. What am I doing? I am changing my magic. Assuming I can do that. He's going to attack me if I talk to him. Oh no, I probably haven't killed Sage Frake. When I saw that Sage Frake wasn't here, I thought that I'd killed him. What an absurd idea. Now, I could add Flame Toss, but really I don't need warding if I'm not going to be running through the area, so I'll swap warding with that, and then I'll swap these two with Cursed Blade. I think that was what I would typically do. So if I was using warding, that would reduce the number of options that I would have for magic to equip alongside it. So Homing Soul Arrow and Soul Ray were essentially warding's accompaniment. But these two together really is the ideal for me. It looks like you can get as many as 7 slots in this game. Whether or not, I think I was debating this before. I said to myself, well, would it be helpful to have 7 slots? And I said no, because I obviously looked at the magic that I was likely to use and I saw that there was no real benefit to having that 1 extra slot. So, yeah. You say the remake might come to PC next year. Yeah, right. I'm not holding my breath on that. Is it possible? Yes. Would it be outside the realm of possibility? No. But am I going to sit here and wait for it expectantly? No. That would be a dumb idea. I don't trust Sony on that. And it is within Sony's domain at the moment. As far as I'm concerned, they have reaped the benefits in terms of console sales that they were going to get from having Demon's Souls release exclusively on the console. So I think at this stage they may as well just print more money. I mean, you could argue that they do have to port it to PC, which will require some investment on their end, but not much, come on. So, yeah, the amount of effort that it's going to take for them to get it on PC versus the profit that they're going to get is immeasurable. So it'd be nice if they just did that. The fact that it hasn't come out already is stupid. I don't mind being a latecomer. I just don't want to be a person who never gets to experience it. I'm not expecting to enjoy it as much as the original, I just like to experience it because, you know, people are talking about it. People don't really play the original anymore, I don't think. Maybe occasionally people do, but just for something a little different or for the sake of nostalgia, but I do it as the only option to play Demon's Souls, which I'm comfortable with because, you know, I've always played the original, needless to say. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm still content with not experiencing the other version that everyone's playing. I've heard positive things and negative things, but the negative things that I've heard sound rather inevitable, whereas the positive things are worth congratulating Bluepoint over. So, I'm sort of being aggressive at the moment, in a way that I likely shouldn't be. And so yeah, I don't really have ranged magic on hand anymore. In fact, I definitely don't. This is definitely a much more short-range magic. Offensive style. I'll give it a rest. Congratulations, honestly. But yeah, my expectation is that I'll whip out these two, and then one Firestorm will just kill the Leechmonger. Killing it quickly should hopefully counteract the risk factor of that bastard dealing so much damage to me. Come on. I don't need to joust with you, you stupid creature. I've actually lost so much grass. Or consumed so much, doesn't really matter how you want to refer to it. I do have as much as 40 New Moon grass, which is a lot. That's just probably from accumulating it in World 1.4, but still. Yeah, Demon Souls and Bloodborne releasing on PC would be a major event. An absolutely major event. It's incredible, honestly, that they haven't come out with Bloodborne on PC. Why do they do that? Why does Sony sit there and say, we hate money. We don't want money. We don't want to milk our IP. It's not even milking your IP at that point. It's not like a Nintendo sort of activity to re-release things. It would be a Nintendo activity to re-release Bloodborne on every single fucking console that they ever make, ever, and then pretend like it's a new thing. But they're not doing that. They're actually just... Well, I think technically you can play Bloodborne on PlayStation 5, but that has less to do with re-releasing the game and more to do with just being able to play a PS4 game on a PS5. So, yeah. It begs the question, what the fuck are Sony doing? It's really irresponsible and quite frankly, totally... It holds the fans in contempt, in my opinion. And I really don't appreciate that. Alright. I'm gonna do something that I may regret, and that is actually properly fight this giant depraved one. If you could fucking take a swing at me so that I can make use of the opportunity you give me to hit you. You motherfucker, I hate you so much. Alright, get over here. Come on, man. If you're gonna do that, I'll take the opportunity that you've given me. He swings again pretty quickly. I was just killed. He deals too much damage, quite frankly. I can't take this area on with Cling Ring health, so I have no choice but to use the... I apologize for dying so many times in World 5-1. 5-1. But I'm not going to say that I'm not putting effort in, I'm just not doing well enough. Sorry. The damage is very high at the moment. Warding would be one way to counteract it, but I do want Firestorm, and I also wouldn't mind using a little bit of good old Cursed Blade. I probably did, without having properly noticed it, lost a bit of health through Cursed Blade. Cursed Blade does damage you, I think, at the same rate as the Magical Sword Makoto. So, in that sense, maybe I had lost a bit of health, and therefore it was easier to be one-shot, but still, fuck. I am going to use a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes. As much as I really don't want to do it. Just don't press the circle button. It might be a Japanese game, but it's still cross to make your selections. I wonder how the Japanese dealt with that. Most of the games in Japan actually use circle to make selections. And the reason why is because, or the reason why I know that for certain, is that, you know, you would use circle to make your selections in the PlayStation menu, so... It is bizarre that it's still cross in this game. And I say still in the sense that I began in the Western release and then... Well, technically I didn't begin in the Western release for this game, but... It still wasn't a Japanese release. It was an international release that was not specifically Western. It was the Chinese-English release that I had played, but still. You know, I then played the Atlas version, etc. And the European version, that's the etc. Oh, the speed of this fucking weapon is lovely. In fact, I find that it might be better to use against these enemies. Apparently Sony actually lets you swap them around on the PS4 and PS5. Which is nice, but... yeah. I suppose just having one consistent thing is the best way to approach it. It's just the Japanese are used to a different standard I don't want to be losing all of my souls, and I'll tell you why. I've consumed so much fucking grass here that I want to be able to buy it back. It's getting ridiculous. Alright, roll. Get the hell out of there, man. I don't mind dealing with you fuckers. Except for when that happens. No. See, you are designed in the most unfair fucking way imaginable. Look how full moon grass heals you at this level of health. It's so good. New moon grass is honestly just excessive. It's not necessary until you're probably over 50 vitality. I'd say if you've gone beyond 50 vitality, then yeah, you'll start to feel full moon grass losing its effectiveness, but god, at this level of health, it's really good. Okay, again, I'm just making my way through this area in as methodical and sensible a way as I can, so as not to just make a dumb mistake and die. I've done enough of that. A-Gaming says the grass system was the best. It's an interesting perspective. Don't know if I entirely agree. Obviously, I have my romantic preferences when it comes to Demon's Souls over other games, but as for whether or not it stands to be a better system than other ones, I'm not sure. I think the Estus system was pretty fair. Yes, I'm using Crescent Moon Grass. I've got 70 of it, so 70 units. May as well make use of them. Just don't want to be selecting it and using it accidentally when I'm actually at risk of death or something. I will use vertical swings here, should be good enough. The range of the Uchigatana is fine, as you can tell. Previously I was using the strong attack of the Claymore, but as you can see, this is pretty good as well. I do have Widow's Lotuses to use, so if I do actually need to use one, I can. Is that 2 shards of Archstone? Pretty good. Wonder how many I've got. I bet that's the only 2 I've got. Oh no, I did have 1 on hand, so if I really fucking snapped out of it, I could have just used a shard of Archstone to return to the Nexus and actually use the souls that I had on hand, instead of completely fucking them off. That's not much damage that I'm dealing, is it? Fall back. Not that kind of fall back. I used a fucking Stone of Ephemeral Eyes only to, while retreating, slide off the edge and die. That's a Demon's Souls moment right there. That's like the classic Demon's Souls experience. This is not the sort of return to Demon's Souls I was expecting. That's probably my 4th or 5th death in 5-1. 5-1! Like, what the fuck is going on? It's so bad. Anyway. Seriously, I'm just minding my own business and dying. That's what it feels like. It is true that World 5 is probably the least... What did you just... He fell over in midair. That's quite funny. But yeah, World 5 is definitely the least forgiving at high levels of new game. Honestly, warding is starting to feel like a necessity, not a luxury. Those are probably inaccurate comments when I say... See, that's the fucking... Doomlink, you've died exactly like that in the past. Well, you know what? There's a strategy associated with it. What I'm trying to do is land on one of them, and then tank the hit of the second one, and then run out of the way. But what I've been doing instead is missing the drop-down damage and the flinch associated with it, getting hit by one of them, and then immediately getting hit by the other one and dying in 2 hits. So, you know, lovely, right? I'm telling you, there is a strategy. I'm not just being dumb. I'm not just dropping into death. I'm trying to have it work a little better than that. It's just my execution obviously could use a little work. I'm just gonna fucking run through everything at this point. I've got no money, or souls, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, okay. He did it again. That time, that one was actually just pure lack of, it was the moment where I threw everything away and said, you know what, I'm just gonna run through like a bull until I eventually get to the boss. Anyway. I can only do the best that I can. I can do not much more than that. Increasing my stamina gauge is one thing that I could do. Just as a long-term goal. But I think, you know, my health and my magic ends up being more important. That's probably the reason why my stamina gauge is at the level that it's currently at, because in the end, I need to be... I didn't mean to actually drop down this time. This was... Yeah, okay, roll through it. And fuck me sideways. Just keep going, Doomlink, honestly. If I have made the decision to just run through the enemies, you'd think I would go back and swap out Cursed Blade for fucking warding, but apparently that's too sensible of bloody strategy. Now, I'm probably going to entirely regret what I'm about to do, but we'll see how we go. Hey, you're dead. It's beneficial for everyone. Come on, get out of the way. Get out of the way. I was not actually expecting an extended hitbox on the thrust. I rolled through his thrust, but then when I completed my roll, the fire was there to burn me or something like that. And so what I was going to do, right, was I was going to roll through his thrust and then do an attack out of my roll, which is a very quick slash. That's it. So it's a very quick slash with the Uchigatana, which would have flinched him in place, and then I could attack again to kill him. 2 hits to kill these enemies. So that was, you know, I had made a strategic decision to do what I did, but I just got fucking destroyed, and should have instead raised my shield and then attacked immediately after deflecting his attack. Ordinarily wouldn't be an issue, the strategy that I attempted to employ, but for some reason that spear thrust was really nasty. Well, I don't know. At least I'm detached from this fucking game. Otherwise I'd be getting very upset by now. Yeah, alright. Good for you. Let's kill these guys, so I can recover my health before I drop down. Oh, they've gone and walked past, so let's take this as an opportunity to run. Yes. So as long as I can get past the spear thrusters, or just the spear users, quite frankly, I don't need to say thrusters, sounds like I'm describing a jet. Some sort of aeroplane. But anyway, once I get, or if I can get past those guys, we'll be under control. I did raise my shield to deal with you, which was lovely, except... Oh, can you fucking stop body blocking me with your corpse? Insufferable bastard. Get out of my way. Alright, shield this time. That's a little bit of a better decision to make. Heal up, and then we've got the giant depraved one on the bridge, which is not actually what I wanted. Not at all what I wanted. I'll try and fucking deal with this. How am I supposed to deal with this? Can I get past you guys? Nope. In the time that it takes for me to gear up a fucking attack. Notice how I don't have any ranged capabilities right now? I could try... No, of course not. Are you still within my range? I don't know, let's give this a fucking try. Should have used my Crisp Blade, actually. Hello, I can see... No, don't do that. That's like pressing L instincts. which is all well and good, but only if you've got a fucking shield on your left hand. Don't fucking press it when you're being swung at by something that can kill you in 2 hits. And you've got like a catalyst in your hand. Alright, so after that experience, let's go and kill this Leechmonger before he can kill us. Chris Blade. Oh, he's going to gear up for that attack. Ow. Alright. The key, again, is to hit him before he can hit us. And he's dead. 6,560 damage. It really should have just been that easy from the start. Anyway, I'm going to get fuck all in terms of souls after all that. I'm barely going to be able to buy back my... Oh, 41,000 is not too bad, actually. That was more than I was expecting from the Leechmonger, even at New Game Plus. I will use these souls not to work towards a level up, but rather to... buy Half Moon Grass. Or Full Moon, depends on how expensive it is. I don't know if I've actually spoken to Patches and brought him to the Nexus. I'll have to check. He is obviously the ideal vendor. Wriggling Demon Soul. I think I've come to realize that the best course of action is to choose either Firestorm or Cursed Blade. And have warding instead. So, let's do that now. Oh, warding gives me the chance to actually equip Soul Ray as well. I honestly believe that warding required 3 slots. Probably not the first time that I say slots, it's actually spell memory in this game. That's a Dark Souls term, but that's fine. You will understand what it is I'm referring to when I use that term. I'm going to equip the Ring of Magical Sharpness because I will be dealing more damage. That's the... Yes, that's the Sharpness Ring. It's not just the fact that that's a defensive stance and that's an offensive stance in terms of the man drawn on the ring. It's also the fact that the opposite of what you're gaining will be subtracted from your stats. So, I'm losing magic damage, but gaining magic defense. With this one, I'm gaining magic attack, but losing magic defense. So that's probably, honestly, the quickest way to work it out if you're confused by the stances of the characters on the rings. Or, actually, quite frankly, what's even easier is just to read the fucking name of the ring. I can't do that right now because I don't read kanji. That's the reality. So normally that wouldn't be an issue. You wouldn't have to check all of these things. Unless somehow you don't understand the meaning of the words sharpness and dullness. Or at the very least have such a limited understanding that it wouldn't even help to jog your memory as to which ring did what. It seems that Patches has not been spoken to. I wonder where he is. I do need to find him. How lazy of me to not have actually brought him to the Nexus. He's a worthwhile vendor. A really worthwhile vendor. I would almost guarantee that I've not spoken to him in World 2.2. Which is very annoying because he's a bit more annoying to get to in that Archstone, but I'll live with it. Oh, fuck that person. Well, I guess if it's a new and sealed copy of the original Japanese version, that's probably alright. It's a lot of money, though. $120. My copy's in pretty bad condition. It's the only version of the game that I own that's in bad condition, actually. Yeah, I'll stop it. I'm barely dealing any damage to you. And I know precisely why. It's because pretty much all of the damage that I'm dealing with this Uchigatana is magic damage. That's dumb. Hello, he's pursuing me. Bastard sword, come on. Bastardo sword. Hello. I'll let him kick me down, then I'll forgive him for it. But first... Actually, no. Fuck you. Give me a second. too many of these enemies. Alright, there you go. I wanted it for the souls, primarily. Because that's a lot of souls. Okay, that's 9,184. Just from killing one enemy, that's very good. Now.
Oh, hello again.
Hello.
Hey, don't turn a cold shoulder. I didn't mean to do you wrong. Really. Come on now. We've got better things. That, go on.
I trust you. Oh, what? What's going on? Yeah, you just kicked me down. And this guy, I hadn't even thought about this. Well, I can pretend like I'm using the magical sword Makoto. And we'll see how I fare against this guy. Should be fine. He will fucking hurt if he hits me, but... thing is, every time he hits me, he is harmed by his hiltless. He's strangely got the magical sword Makoto, but he's not losing health from it. I guess, and I've discussed this before, I guess they just decided that would be a bit too easy for the player, because literally you wouldn't have to engage him in battle. You could just stand there and wait for him to slowly die. Which is kind of what happens when you use Poison Cloud on enemies anyway. Or Death Cloud at least. So, yeah, I understand why, even though he's using Makoto, they don't just let him die like that. Alright, got a Stone of Ephemeral Eyes out of it, which is always nice. Saint Urbane, but I'm not going to rescue him. Much to his displeasure, I'm sure. If he can't rescue himself, then he can starve down here. I'm sure he'll get to a point where he'll start to get really, really desperate and go, "Oh, that's it, I have to get out." And then he'll realize that the door is fucking open. And then he'll just leave. So, there you go. Umbasa.
Hey, look, I'm really sorry. There are, I know.
I believe it's a yes answer. Oh no, he doesn't even, it's not even a yes or no. Will you forgive me? It's just, I'll take this ring of gash resistance. Thanks, mate. I need to remember how to get back up. This way. I've got 58,000 souls, but it's still not enough to level up. I really am low on grass that's not New Moon grass, and as I've said, New Moon grass is excessive at this point. I want to stockpile. In fact, I would have said this most likely. I have no recollection of saying it, but I would have reached the same logical conclusion in the past, so I'm going to say it again. It makes sense to stockpile New Moon grass now while I'm not using it, because it will accumulate naturally. But later on, in later levels of New Game, you know, New Game plus 2, 3, 4, etc., New Moon grass will actually be needed. At which point, I'd like to at least have a lot to use initially without needing to buy it. But the reality is that it'll probably be somewhat affordable by that level of New Game anyway. Fortunately, our friend Patches has not gone to World 2-2, which probably means that I'm spared from having to pursue him there as long as I don't go to World 2. I don't think it would even be World 2-2 specifically that I'd have to go to make him leave the Nexus to go over there to be spoken with. Oh, unless he doesn't go there if you've cleared the Archdemon. That's possible. That's probably what it is. One thing that I'm slightly worried about when it comes to the Demon's Souls remake is that any changes that exist in the Demon's Souls remake might cause me to forget how things were done in this version if I play that for too long. I definitely had that happen with Scholar of the First Sin. But I have a feeling that it's going to be much like Monster Hunter Tri vs 3 Ultimate for me, in the sense that there are certain things that I will absolutely always remember for Monster Hunter Tri, because I played so much of that game, and that game was so important to me, that I think I have reached the point where nothing of what the Demon's Souls remake would do differently would actually overwrite any memory that I have of this version of the game. So, yeah. A-Gaming assures me that literally everything's the same. Okay. There's New Moongrass. That's 5,000 per unit, which you can see adds up pretty quickly. But you never know, it may be affordable in the future, but my guess is that it's not sensibly affordable, and the reason why is because it would be better to spend that amount of souls on leveling up, no matter what, doesn't matter where you are in the game. I think New Moongrass is always going to be best acquired rather than purchased. So, yeah. That's true. Late moon as opposed to half moon might be sensible. Unless, no, I think I would have made a constructive decision when it came to this in the past. I think half moon, the two extremes are probably best, you know. The really weak one that's still viable, and the one that may be extravagant for certain situations, or over-effective for certain situations, I don't know. Excessive is really what I meant to say. Yeah, Full Moon Grass, it's very good, but it's still at that point where, or rather, it's not incredible, it's not ridiculously overpowered, but it's still not at that point where it's always worth using. Half Moon is still useful. So is Crescent Moon if you've literally got nothing else, but I'm not fucking carrying that around. At least not in my usable items list. I do also need to purchase Old Spice. Can't remember where I can get that. Who sells Old Spice? Is it Sage Frake? Fuck. I'm trying to think. Saint Urbain might sell Old Spice? Do I waste my time going back and rescuing him? I shall, because I can get some souls out of it. Let's just do it. I've still got the bastard sword equipped. Bastardo sword. Yeah. So, I will likely do... I actually don't know how things are going to unfold. If I get to a point in this live stream where I've completed World 5, I've completed this run of New Game, and it's nowhere near the 2-hour mark, I might do a bit of New Game plus 2. I'm not going to be saying New Game plus plus, by the way, that's stupid. Hate saying that. It sounds really dumb. Oof. No, don't kill me, please. That's really going to slow things down if that happens. Alright, so we've got the Ring of Avarice. Let's see how many souls we get with that equipped. 11,019 souls with the Ring of Avarice equipped. That's not too bad at all. It's really quite nice. Saint Urbain. Mr. Umbasa Man. Oh, he's fucking returned anyway. That was probably unnecessary. See, he actually can work it out himself. He doesn't need to be rescued. Fucking Umbasa Man. Well, at any rate, I did get some souls out of it. It wasn't totally wasted. Oh god. I can barely navigate this area, apparently. I'm not like I used to be. Yeah, I actually think that this amount of stamina is okay. To touch on that subject that I was briefly detailing before, the health of my character is very important, because as I increase the level of New Game, the more damage I'm going to be taking, so I need the health to be able to sponge that. I'm not going to be leveling up enough to get a defense increase through my soul level to account for the increase of damage I'm going to be taking from enemies. I'm going to have to match that with increases to vitality. Not like exclusively dedicating my level ups to vitality, but yeah, it needs to be a priority. Beyond that, this amount of magic is very small. Like, that is not much. The Insanity Catalyst is very good, and I will continue to use it, but again, it would be helpful to have a longer magic bar with the Insanity Catalyst. It halves your magic, as you can see. So, there you go. Yeah, I agree, A-Gaming. It's a good balance of things. Let's see if Sage Freak sells me Old Spice. I may be lucky. Oh, you fuckwit. I'm not skilled enough in faith for him to even do business with me. What about your followers?
Thank goodness for
No? How about this bloke? I don't think, yeah, he definitely doesn't do anything. I hate you people. You're lucky you still draw breath in my presence. Trio of cockroaches. Sage Freak it is. I'm a desperate man. The reality is that I can't really do much of anything unless I have my Old Spice. I suppose technically Fresh Spice will suffice. It's a good enough rhyme. In the event that I just keep the Insanity Catalyst out in my hand, because that's actually not all that much magic, so maybe, logically speaking, I should just use Fresh Spice. Why did I change to Old Spice then? Why would I have made that decision? Alright, let's just do that. It's easier than rescuing Sage Freak, and quite frankly, I don't know for sure that he sells Old Spice. It would entirely make sense that he did, but... Fresh Spice, honestly, for this amount of magic, is enough. For this amount of magic, you wouldn't have a hope in hell of actually effectively and efficiently recovering your magic, but this is quite alright. Alright. So we'll replace Old Spice with Fresh Spice, which is totally unnecessary for me to actually unequip it before equipping Fresh Spice. I also took the longest route possible to get to Fresh Spice, literally from the bottom of my inventory. Would have been much faster from the top, because it's almost at the top of your consumables, just below grass. I should mention that, and perhaps it's a bad idea to do this, as we all know, I have a feeling that I should be mostly fine going forward through World 5. It's just that first one really does shit on you. A-Gaming is correct in that it's bad for speedruns as well. There's just something about that particular area. Oh no, I do have warding. Okay, I made the decision to go with... Yes, that's fine. Cursed Blade. Firestorm would definitely make... What's it called again? It's not the Rotten, it's something else. It's the... I've forgotten what he's called now. It's definitely not the Rotten. Yeah. Strangely forgot the name of the boss of World 5-2. I suppose it had to happen eventually, because, again, I haven't played Demon's Souls recently, but wow. Dirty Colossus, that's right. Just remembered it. Yes, I actually, this is quite funny. Back when Dark Souls came out, I had decided that Blighttown was my favourite area because it reminded me of World 5. And World 5 was my favourite area of Demon's Souls when Dark Souls came out. The reason why I felt that way at the time about World 5, and I don't really think I agree with that opinion now, is because it felt like the most atmospheric, it felt like the most hopeless place. Just a really, it's just like the world is over. This is literally the bottom of the barrel. There's nothing here. You're just in this lonely world, filled with these creepy creatures and poison swamps and... Yeah, Blighttown definitely drew from the aesthetic of World 5. But the reality was, sadly, that Blighttown fucking sucked because the frame rate was terrible there. And I actually don't like World 5 that much. It's one thing to like it in concept, but it has caused me so much grief over the years. For anyone who has the privilege or sad accolade of having watched all of the stuff that I've uploaded to YouTube of Demon's Souls, you will know that World 5 is the place where I've suffered the most, without a doubt. I don't need warding, I'm going to get past these enemies anyway, because I've got the Thief Ring. If you don't have the Thief Ring, don't do what I'm doing. They will pursue you all the way. Seriously. My Bastard Sword is actually still good enough for these depraved ones, but I'm going to unequip it in favor of an actual magic weapon. I'm being pursued by these bastard creatures. You can see what's so bad about them. I'm going to use Soul Ray on them. Doesn't feel like a waste. Come on, how the hell did my Soul Ray go in that direction? I swear the creature was flying above, like well above the pathway, and yet it still hit the pathway. The trajectory was totally off. Come on. I pressed the button to attack you, man. Oof. This guy pushes you off, by the way. You have to be very careful. If you see an unarmed... Yeah, see that attack? If you're facing in the wrong direction, that's bad news. Of course, the efficacy of my Full Moon Grass is greatly reduced on account of my poison ailment. Just thrust your fucking thing. I hate you so much. Just as I lowered my guard to just attack you anyway. You thrust your stupid crap. I hate you both so much. I especially hate you with your fucking pushing attack. Get out of here. Looked like he had a fishing rod in his hand, actually. At that point. These guys coming behind you can be problematic. You can ignore them sometimes. You're not always going to be punished for it, but I think you can see that the most sensible course of action is, in fact, to kill them before proceeding to fight these guys. It's like really the most sensible thing to do, by far. Alright, let's use some Half Moon Grass. Hello, Force Infinity. It's been a year and a half since I played this game, so I wouldn't say to you, welcome back, but I guess it's good to be doing it again. That's why it says, you know, it's the 70th live stream. 70th live stream? Jeez. Well, I've never seen you play this game, Doomlink. Well, I haven't played it recently. I definitely needed a break. Like I said before, I'm unlikely to play this game often. But we'll see how we go. Don't really know why I'm taking the time to kill you guys. The phosphorescent slugs, I believe they're called. They're not really worth fighting. I'm going to go around. Yes, I will get poisoned, but it's worth it. I don't want to take on these enemies up ahead. I really don't want to. Oh, I didn't know you've been around for that long, Force Infinity. Maybe you were only interacting in the chat relatively recently. Well, welcome back to Demon's Souls then. I'm not going to heal myself with poison just yet. I'm going to prioritize getting through this area. It's very important that I do that. Stamina management is important so that I can shield things that come my way. God, where have I gone? I need to keep track of where I am. Here we go. Up here, and then... shield raised where necessary. Get out of my fucking way, man. Hold on. Definitely full moon grass, given that I'm poisoned. I believe I'm going up here. Yeah, so... stop it! How did you see him catch me there? He was barely even touching me. And he still managed to get his fucking grubby mitts on me. Fucker. Ugh, alright. Now, anyone not familiar with this area would see me running around in random directions with everything looking the same in terms of my surroundings, and would have no fucking idea what I was just doing. It's only because I've taken the journey so many times that I can actually navigate that area. And quite frankly, that was slow going. Usually I'm faster than that going through there. But anyway. I don't think Ring of Magical Sharpness will actually increase the damage of my weapon here. But whatever. It's equipped and... don't stop it! This is so stupid. Of course my healing is weaker because of... no, don't kill me. Stop it. Stop! It's a nasty little cycle that I'm in right now. I go and burn myself to rid myself of his black crap. And then in the process, he hits me with more of it. Okay, I'm ready for Curse Blade now. I haven't fought you for a while, my friend. Oh dear, he's very resistant. Oh, that's right, warding. How could I forget? That's easy. Fuck, why isn't it... oh, it's because I'm two-handing the fucking catalyst. Or not two-handing the catalyst, I'm two-handing, therefore it's not in my hands. Okay. This is going to be a bit easier to handle. Of course my... oh god, stop it. Don't put that crap on me. It makes my healing so... terrible with... Half Moon particularly. I need to get as many attacks out as I can while I've still got this in effect. This being Cursed Blade. The pressure is on. Stop doing that attack. It happens to be totally off target with me at the moment, but it doesn't make me any happier. He's got to follow up there and then I can get... oh, never mind. You can actually see that that's not increasing my damage very much. Cursed Blade. I'd actually say that's rather lackluster. Oh, come on. Isn't it lit? Oh, okay. Apparently the magic can still be lit up, but not be usable. That's helpful. Not. What are you doing, man? Now for warding. Running attack. Yeah, I can see a bit of an increase in damage, but still not great. It is New Game Plus. Never forget. And I do still have scope for increased damage with this weapon. It's only at +9. Can go as far as +10. Stop with that crap. I just hate it. Such a waste of energy whenever I have to get rid of it. And it's a waste of grass when I have it, when I'm under the effects of it. So it just generally upsets me. Get out of there, get out of there. I don't have the stamina to get out of there! And I somewhat rolled in the wrong direction too. Very upsetting. I don't really need... oh, I can't believe you still reached me with that stub of an arm. See what I mean? It looks like you're rolling out of his range, but it still just manages to get you somehow. And he's got a little bit of a ranged effect to that overhead swing, courtesy of his black crap. I almost killed him, and he almost killed me. I probably wouldn't have died from that hit, but still, you know. I am definitely at risk of that now. Get your full moon, mate. Don't be so stupid. Yeah, just totally miss your swing. Ugh, nasty. At any rate, that is the Dirty Colossus. And I'm actually going to level up once. Because I don't want to waste these souls. I've got 96,731. I'm going to get more from Maiden Estrella, but I would be foolish to engage her with these souls. Or, more specifically, engaging Garl Vinland. Alright. So. Dirty Colossus. I think there is a, I think you can get Acid Cloud with it. Either that or Acid Cloud doesn't exist in this game. It's one of those two things. It's either I'm talking complete bullshit, or yeah, you can make Acid Cloud with it. I think what we're going to do is consume it. I'd like Death Cloud. That was an additional 40,000 souls, so I'm actually going to... Oh, that may still be just shy of 2 level ups though. Let's see how we go. Let's consume everything that I got. Got a bit of it. But what I was trying to say was that the next soul that I receive will be Maiden Estrella's soul, the Pure Blood Demon soul, and I can turn that into Death Cloud. I'm going to see if I have Death Cloud. I don't think I do. I probably used it for souls last time. What the fuck is that? That can't... No, that's just regular... See, I can't read that kanji. That's not Smoke Cloud, is it? Let me see what's going on. So, okay. That's Smoke Cloud. So, that's probably Death Cloud. Right there. That must be Death Cloud. Either that or it's standard Poison Cloud. Fuck. But I think Poison Cloud is a bit of a purple color. And that's sort of a whitish color. So if it's a whitish color and it's not Smoke Cloud, which I can see it's not, that's probably Death Cloud. And it would make sense that I would have already made it. I have no recollection of making it, but again, it makes sense. So I'm going to assume that I already have Death Cloud. In fact, what I can do is I can equip it and I can actually see what the magic expenditure is. That's Poison Cloud? Well, look, if you're seeing Poison Kanji, then I trust you on that. I'll hold on that. I'm reading the Japanese that I can actually read to see if it gives any indication of what it does. Yeah. Doku. So yeah. Poison. I don't know if the original Japanese is actually, you know, Shi for Death Cloud, but I don't actually know if I recognize the character for Shi. So, who knows? The point is that that's, yeah, you're probably right, that's Poison Cloud, so I'll go ahead and actually use Maiden Estrella's soul for Death Cloud this time around. What am I doing? Finding Maiden Estrella. Not Maiden Estrella, the Maiden in Black. Different Maiden. Where is she? She has secreted herself. Oh, no, not even slightly has she secreted herself. She is in the most obvious place possible, right where I was last in an Archstone. I will take you to 30. I can finally say that I've done that. Magic is over here. I don't think I want to increase my magic beyond 40. I don't think it's helpful at all. I think you start getting diminishing returns after 40. It's only an increase of 100 each time. I believe it was more prior to that point. It's just that, like I said, I would rather be increasing other things. Oh, increasing my strength is definitely tempting, for the sake of the Bastard Sword dealing better damage later on. What is the scaling on the Bastard Sword right now? There may be better options, honestly, for... Let's see, scaling's not too bad. The thing is, I just don't feel like I have the luxury of increasing my strength. It doesn't feel worth it. That feels like a misuse of my souls at the moment. So I am going to increase MP. At least a little bit. No. I have to actually make a careful decision each time, because the amount of souls that I have right now and the amount that I'm going to be getting going forward is not going to be enough to just make random upgrades. I need to actually consider what's most important. No, that's fine. If it was the character for Doku, then yes, it's not going to be referring to Death Cloud. It'll be referring to Poison Cloud. So, I'll trust you on that. Anyway. I want more health. My MP right now is workable. My HP, however, definitely has room for improvement. If only for the fact that, like I said, my physical defense is just never going to be substantial, so I need to counterbalance that inconvenience and, honestly, disadvantage with higher health. That'll allow me to sponge more. It's very important. Although, to be honest, I do have warding, and I am definitely availing myself of its effects. So, or maybe not as much as I should be, but if things start to become problematic, I can do that. Now, I think I'm going to go forward with this. Oh no, let's actually get Firestorm for this. Will I be using Firestorm on Garl Vinland? Yes, probably. But you have to understand that Garl Vinland is a very small individual. He is unlikely to be affected by more than maybe 1 or 2 fire pillars from Firestorm, which means that I'm going to actually be taking him on in much the same way as I would in any other situation. It's basically the same every time I engage him, irrespective of build. It will be parrying him and performing riposters. And backstabbing as well. And doing my utmost to prevent him from retreating into the Plague Baby Swamp and healing himself. Let's see how we go. I will actually use warding before I engage him. Be quiet, Maiden Estrella. What are you doing? It's absolutely stupid. I intended to use this and then use that and then engage you. Come now. Can't quite see what you're doing. And it's so distracting. So basically, the first time you engage him, the problem with it is that, and you do want to be on this side of him, by the way. You've basically got the environment in your way and Maiden Estrella chatting away. It's very annoying. It'd be nice if I could actually achieve some bleeding on him. No, you don't. He fucking bounced on me. Alright, you're giving me an opportunity. Let's see what we can do here. Oh, he fucking flinched me by falling over. I can't believe what I just witnessed. Alright, I'm going to consume some fresh spice, much to... That was a risk and a half, wasn't it? He's in the worst fucking position right now. Do you know why? Because he can go and heal. Dickhead. That's what he's doing. I hate you. He managed to sneak around me. You want to be on this side to prevent him from doing that. Is he within targetable distance? Uh-huh. Yeah, come on. Don't be shy, prick. Don't give me plague. I'm trying to get out of here. Stop! I can't fucking roll! Did you just see that? I was not standing in the fucking swamp, and yet it still prevented me from rolling. Because it actually, there's a delay. And it extends beyond the actual physical, visual expression of the swamp lake thing. What a joke. There's nothing wrong with how I approached that situation as far as I'm concerned. And yet, you know, obviously I was under pressure because he's going two-handed. I don't believe I can parry that. Two-handing the fucking Grant, which is the heaviest item in the game, by the way, is a problem. And, yeah, time to use a Stone of Ephemeral Lives. Hallelujah. Whoops, just missed it. What a joke. I hate Garlvinland. I hate that he heals. Show some backbone. Alright. So the idea is to get around him if you can. Usually you can. If you can't, I mean, how did that differ from the previous scenario? Can someone explain that to me? I was able to get around him last time, but not this time. Well, if you'd like to move forward, you're certainly welcome to. Well, I'll just go for the backstab because I wasn't really anticipating that I'd successfully get the parry though. Because of the angle that I was on. Should be able to get around him, come on. Thank you, that's what I want. Got Firestorm at the ready if necessary. I should get it off before, like if he seems like he's going to attempt to flee, which is what he's doing now. Don't fucking fall on me, man. I don't know what that's about. That's a good way to kill him though. That's nice. That is a good strategy. If he reaches a point in his health where he attempts to flee, and you're standing in front of him, you can then use Firestorm, if you've got my setup, and then kill him that way. That worked fairly well. I don't know why him falling over is considered a damaging attack, because it is definitely hurting me when he does that. It's exceptionally annoying. Hello, lady. Hurry up and die. I caught the plague, no! I think we'll be alright. I do have to go and rescue Sage Frake. This is a requirement. Otherwise I'm not going to be able to make this Death Cloud business. Yeah, the 4 flinch is not okay. I'm really not a fan of that. Okay, so all archdemons should be killed, so if I speak to Maiden Estrella, she'll open the way to the old one. But before I do any of that, basically the amount of souls that I have right now cannot be used to level up. Not until I enter New Game Plus 2. But what I am going to do at the moment is rescue Sage Frake. I should have his key. Should. So I will... perhaps it would be sensible to try and level up weapons before continuing on. I should not be using this weapon against you because you have very high magic resistance. Look at this. Oh, that's a bit of damage. Yeah, I know what I'm going to use. Basically, if I go up against enemies that are a bit more resistant to magic, it's better to go with this. You can see that it's got more damage overall. Actually, yeah, why am I using the Uchigatana? Oh, it's because the Uchigatana is faster. They're not really comparable based on their raw damage. You have to understand this is much slower than the Uchigatana. And the Uchigatana is more maneuverable. You've got much faster attacks going out if you do roll slashes and things of that nature. But the point is that the Moon Claymore has a lot more physical raw damage than my Dark Moon Uchigatana. It is Crescent, isn't it? I've been saying Dark Moon. It's definitely Crescent. Sorry. I should trust myself. Maybe stop doing that, man. I'm actually referring to the Mind Flayer. Not myself, for once. That's the correct direction, yes. Sage Frake isn't too far away. I would imagine that I did pick up the key, and if I didn't, then I've already come far enough where I may as well just fucking get the key if I don't have it. Good. That's what I like to see. Saves me a lot of time. Speaking of saving time, I am going to use a Shard of Archstone. Doesn't happen very often, because you don't really get many of them in this game. But there you go. Straight back to the Nexus, ladies and gentlemen. Not a common sight when watching someone play Demon's Souls. It is nice to do a bit of Demon's Souls again, I have to say. I have to tell you, 70 live streams of a game like this is a lot. It's a lot. And some of them are really long. Like, some of them are, 5, 6, 7 hours long. Not all of them. Maybe not 7 hours. Don't think I have a 7-hour Demon's Souls live stream. Let me check to see what my longest one is. I'm going to check my playlist right now, because I'm interested. Alright, so... Alright, 5 hours and 17, part 65. Let's go and continue from there. I don't know if 5 hours and 17 is going to be beaten. It's pretty long, though. Oh, 5 hours and 23, part 43. 5 hours and 23... That's probably going to be the longest. I was being really irresponsible when I said 7 hours. Yeah, so 5 hours and 23 minutes is the longest live stream I've had for Demon's Souls, which, fairly respectable. There's probably 3 5-hour long ones, a number of 4 and 3 hour long ones, and pretty much all of the ones that aren't that are 2 hours, so, 70 is a lot. And it's a bit different if it's a game like Monster Hunter and you're constantly playing in an online community. I mean, anyone can attest to the fact that it is so much easier to get a high playtime on a multiplayer game versus a single player game. It's the same thing with, sitting down and doing a live stream. It is a lot more of a time investment, or so it feels when you're playing that much of a single player game versus doing a multiplayer game, because it's just playing with other people is so much easier. Time passes much faster, and there's just constant entertainment. Whereas if you're going to play a single player for a really long time, you actually have to make your own entertainment. That's the situation. Okay, so I'm going to put away some things because I realize I'm probably burdening myself at the moment with heavy materials that I've not been putting away. Some Dark Moonstone there. So it's Dark Moonstone which makes Crescent. This is why I was calling it Dark Moon, okay? That is the point of confusion. The actual infusion is Crescent, but it uses Dark Moonstone. You've got Moonstone and Dark Moonstone. And that creates the Moon weapons and the Crescent weapons, so... that's the situation. Now, again, as I said, the Moon Claymore cannot be upgraded. Crescent Uchigatana, I'm going to double check to see if I've actually killed the crystal lizards in this area. And you know which ones I'm fucking talking about. They're almost certainly dead. I really should be more sensible than that. Or than this. I'm actually checking to make sure, but there's no way that they're still alive. Either that, or I left them alive for fear of not being ready to kill them. They are still alive. Wow. This is a big deal. Okay, in that case, by the way, it's way too loud in this area, so I'm going to return. I'm going to lower the volume of the game. In fact, I would say the game's been a little bit too loud this live stream. I was supposed to keep track of the volume of the game and I was not. And that's my mistake. I'm very frustrated by that. I'm going to lower it to negative 22 because it's going to be much louder here. I said that I was going to keep track of it and then I simply didn't. I forgot. So, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be drowned out by the game, but it's definitely going to be louder than I would ordinarily like it to be. Okay. Wow, that's right, I need warding here to survive. I've got 100,000 souls. I can't die here. Okay. I've got a lot of these guys to kill. Still one-shotting them, thankfully, because while it is New Game Plus, my damage is very high. Largely thanks to the Insanity Catalyst, actually. I should mention this amount of damage is not typical, to be honest. It's just largely because of the Insanity Catalyst. I've sacrificed a lot of MP for this. I'm ready to reapply warding. I've got a good sense of the timing for warding. I've got it built into my bones. Oh, there you go. Soul Ray has pretty good range also. As you can probably tell. What's going on? Okay, you're dead. I made a great mistake in not actually equipping the Ring of Avarice for this confrontation. I'm actually accumulating incredible souls right now. And to be honest, if I really cared about the progression of my character, I'd be actually grinding souls here. Because the soul accumulation is huge here. Really huge. I'll do it in New Game Plus 2. I should still be dealing very good damage, and warding should still protect me fairly well. Okay, the pressure's on. What do you mean, Doomlink? Well, I'm trying to see what's alive right now. It doesn't appear that the other crystal lizard is alive. Only one of them is spawning. If I'm wrong about that, then that's still pretty bad, because... whatever, let's just go for it. Don't have time for it. 2 of them are alive. 2 of them are alive, what the fuck? Why? Why would it miss like that? Oh my god. Breathe, Doomlink. Just breathe. When you fail to reach them, that's literally... that counts as a death of a crystal lizard. That's the situation. In this game, the fact that I failed to catch them there means that that's one attempt to get their stuff that I'll never get back. I'll never get it back. And you can actually kill them and they'll respawn, you know, this is the point. You can actually, each time they can die, you can kill them and get their stuff. But if you fail to kill them, that's one attempt lost. I'm so fucking annoyed. It's not even going to make that huge of a difference to fully upgrade my Crescent Uchigatana, but if I could get some pure Dark Moonstone from these fuckers. And to be honest, like, Shrine of Storms is kind of low, fortunately. Drop rates obviously decrease as you go further to pure white, but yeah. Oh my god. This is so stressful. Usually what I would do, okay, is I would have a really good bow to do this, but I think my only choice is to chase him down and settle for one, because I'm not making a bow for this. I'm not going to forge some high-level bow to snipe them to death. That's what I did in the past with builds like these. A long time ago. Fuck, these dickheads have respawned. You know what? Warding and then take on the lizard, because I don't have time for these fuckers. I'll tell you what I've got time for, and that's lizard. I've got time for lizards right here. Of course, just focus on that one, Doomlink. That's all you can fucking ask of yourself. That's all you can ask of yourself. Get that fucking Dark Moonstone. The Thief Ring does make a difference. Please. Pure Dark Moonstone is a perfectly crescent-shaped rock. Damn it. Didn't get it. Okay. Now, I may have another attempt, but probably not more than one more, because I know that I likely would have missed one attempt in picking up the Storm Ruler to fight. Or maybe, no, maybe I never picked up the Storm Ruler, but I definitely would have been seen by them when I first engaged the Storm King, so... Oh my god. I hate the fact that you... Just being seen by them and having them run away counts as a death. I hate that. Maybe it doesn't count as a death unless they kill themselves. Maybe if they just disappear normally, it's okay. But if they run off the edge and fucking kill themselves... Alright. I'm still seeing one there, so maybe it's alright. It's very stressful, though. It's a very stressful business. I just want, like, maximum fucking health. I'm not going to worry about the other one because I don't want to risk losing this one, okay? I'll get this one, please, please. That's alright. It's showing me that if I go to pure black world tendency intentionally in New Game Plus 2, it will be possible to get pure Dark Moonstone, I know it. And the reason why is because if I'm at pure black and I can kill these lizards even once or twice, and I think I can manage more, I should be able to get it. And on top of that, I can make use of the increased souls acquired from the rays in the area. Okay. Have we got lizards? Just one. All I need is one. I'm seeing one. I don't know if I'm losing both yet or what's going on, but for now, let's just do the best that I can. Don't miss any of them. What I'm hoping is that because they're not killing themselves and they're just disappearing... So there it is! There it is, pure Dark Moonstone, suck my dick. I wasn't even at a really low... Oh, thank God. What a weight off my shoulders to get that pure Dark Moonstone, you don't even know. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. I don't know how bad or how low the chances were there, to be honest. But, really, like, this is... like neutral world tendency. This is not particularly dark, which means that the drop rates were not particularly good. So I'm glad that I got it despite not being at a really low world tendency. That was excellent. I may make other things Dark Moon in the future, but for now, let's just worry about the Ujigatana. Let's just have a look. We'll see what's happening with Blacksmith Ed. I hope that Ed has been spoken to and that the Red Hot Demon Soul has been given to him. I don't think he can do anything with Dark Moonstone unless he has the Red Hot Demon Soul. I probably have given it to him. I just have no recollection of it. The reason why I wouldn't have done that is because maybe I made all of the upgrades that I have currently back in New Game. That's definitely within the realms of possibility. G'day. Okay, I can upgrade. We're doing a lot better now. Previously, we were, well, you can see it's not a huge increase of damage, is it? But you are getting... Yeah, that's actually not too bad at all. I've seen far worse, and you know what? At least I can rest assured with the knowledge that this is the maximum damage that it's going to be dealing. This is it. It's an increase. It's a significant one because it's 1 of 5. Not 1 of 10, but 1 of 5. And so that automatically makes it more significant. Makes it more significant as a singular upgrade. There we go. Crescent Uchigatana plus 5. Oh, Dark Moon Master's Trophy. Happy to get that. That's a bit of a throwback. Seeing a trophy appear on the screen for Demon Souls, it really gives me a strange sense of nostalgia. I made this profile specifically for live streaming on YouTube, so I wanted to get trophies for the things that I achieved, because it's a bit more intimate and enjoyable, but yeah, that's great. Not only that, but I also needed access to profiles, or empty profiles to make characters. Okay, yeah. 380. That's a huge increase. It's an increase of, I think, 32? Can't remember what I was at before. No, 38, sorry. 37. What was it? Well, I'm only getting a vague recollection of what my damage was before. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to actually check to see what your end damage was, and then you upgrade and check again, but pretty good. I'm happy with that. It feels more substantial. It's almost an increase of 40. I'd say it's an increase of 37 from my memory. So, I'm happy. Very happy. If you would have asked me at the beginning of this recording if I was expecting to fully upgrade my Crescent Uchigatana using pure Dark Moonstone, I just would have said, look, fuck no, I'm not expecting that. It'd be nice if it happened, but definitely not banking on it, but it happened, and I'm very happy for it. I may not be as attached to this build now as I have been in the past, but that feels like an achievement. Pure Dark Moonstone is a bitch to get. A real bitch to get. Not as bad as Pure Bladestone, but we won't discuss Pure Bladestone. That's a different fucking story. It's never worth it. Like, you know how obviously you're going to get a benefit from fully upgrading any weapon that you've got? Well, you also need to take a measurement of how much your time is worth, and the amount of time that it takes to get Pure Bladestone is ridiculous. I have successfully done it on camera in this live stream series. I think even twice I've managed to do it on camera, but it has to be said that grinding for Pure Bladestone is the most miserable shit on the planet. Don't know if it was made any better in the remake, probably not, but yeah, it's bad news here. Really bad news. You basically have to kill Black Phantom skeletons in 4.3 and... well, 4.2 actually. And, yeah. As well as other black skeletons. Black Phantom black skeletons, technically. Anyway. Dual Uchigatana black skeletons in Black Phantom form, as well as regular ones. With pure black world tendency. That's really your only sensible chance of getting it. Alright. I'd like to see what I require for the Bastard Sword. Ooh. So what would that be? So that's regular shards. I'm trying to remember the naming now. So shard, large shard, chunk. Okay. I can afford all this. But can I purchase chunks? I don't think I can purchase chunks. No, I can't. I can only purchase large shards, right? No, I can get what I need. We can put this to bed. That's going to be a small increase, isn't it? Much smaller than the increase that we were getting from +4 in the Crescent Uchigatana to +5. But that's something that can increase as I increase my strength stat. Alright. We'll try to remember this. 4 chunks, 3 large shards, and 6 shards. I'll do my best. I don't believe I can purchase chunks, but I should be able to acquire them. I'll purchase the grass that I need now, because quite frankly, patches are going to disappear. Well, again, I was theorizing about this before. Is he going to disappear if I go to World 2 too? Or is he permanently staying here because I've already completed World 2? Hard to know. Get 10 of those. A whole lot of this. Which actually isn't that much. And a bit of late moon. Can get a bit of late moon. Why not? And then whatever he's crapping on about. Alright. Let's go to World 2 and get ourselves some stones. What I'm going to do initially is just kill the crystal lizards. I don't think I would have killed the crystal lizards of this location all that much. I can't imagine it. And I do have Firestorm on hand. That's what you want for this business. I don't have to worry too much about the slash resistance that these enemies have because most of my damage is magic damage, so it just cuts straight fucking through them, which is exactly what I like to see. I'm sitting on 101,000 souls. I'm never comfortable with that many souls in my inventory. I was apparently comfortable with 340 something before, which is stupid. I didn't know that you had a double attack of that. Asshole. You just used Ignite. For the longest time when he used Ignite, I would actually think that he was doing Flame Toss, but it ended up hitting something. And so it never got the chance to progress in a forward direction, but actually, it's Ignite. It's a separate magic. He uses Flame Toss and Ignite. Which is weird because I only realized that maybe as late as 2015. I had never noticed it before then, and let me tell you, I played a lot of this game in 2010 and 2011. That was when I was playing it the most. This is probably not the best weapon to be using here, it has to be said. Also, this is not going to be the best world tendency to be killing enemies for drops. I'm pretty sure Stonefang Tunnel is currently at pure white, which is not great. I have apparently come down here before. I've killed the Black Phantoms, which is good. That speeds things up a little bit. Let's see how we go. I'm going to try and kill as many crystal lizards as I can. And try and get you down there. Go on, off you go. One, two, three, four. About 4. Yeah, pretty good. Alright. We're getting enough. We're definitely going to have enough large shards. I'm just looking for chunks of hardstone. If I can't get chunks of hardstone, then I do always have World 1.4 to try. Because World 1.4 does actually have crystal lizards that I likely haven't killed in this particular playthrough. And that should be pretty good. It's not a stupid idea to deliberately kill yourself to actually get better drop rates in a world. But I don't have the option to do that, and I'll tell you why. I only have like 3 stones of ephemeral eyes. There has most likely been a combination of me dying stupidly and me intentionally dropping world tendencies down towards black, which has resulted in a severe dearth of ephemeral eye stones in my inventory. So sadly, I don't have that option right now. I have to settle for drop rates of at least 1 off pure white, but it's probably actually pure white. That looks pure white to me. Pretty sure I've got 3 archstones at pure white right now. Which is nice in a sense, but you know, it makes things easier in the higher levels of New Game, but it's not good for drop rates. It's really bad. I do think that that is an amazing system. What an amazing system. It sounds so simple, yet when I talk about how incredible Demon's Souls and Dark Souls are as games together, Demon's Souls with its world tendency system was just stupendous. The idea that dying in a world while alive would lower the world tendency and enemies would get harder but drop better things, and then the reverse would be the case as you killed Black Phantoms and killed bosses. I mean, just amazing. Both Demon's Souls and Dark Souls together are masterful video games. Masterful. But they exist very much in their own worlds. In the sense that Demon's Souls is the perfect example of a world-based game, whereas Dark Souls is all about exploring the world without warping to different locations. So basically, Demon's Souls did it perfectly if you're not actually progressing through one cohesive environment, where everything just slowly fades into the next location within one large world. And Dark Souls perfected a different style to Demon's Souls, and it didn't even have to draw from Demon's Souls to be able to do that. Both games are incredible in their own way. The only reason why Dark Souls had the huge effect that it had on the gaming community that Demon's Souls didn't have was because Demon's Souls was not only a niche, it was a PS3 exclusive. It just wasn't known. All the dumpy fucking mainstream gamer dorks of the late 2000s were all on Xbox. That's where they were. They weren't playing the Japanese games on the Sony console. Because they were like, my Assassin's Creed, my God of War, my Gears of War, my Halo, my etc, etc. Like, fuck those people. They were idiots. They were enjoying stuff that didn't age well. I was lucky enough to at least find this very early on, and I can still enjoy it today. This is a game with real clout, and it should have that sort of thing, that sort of status, that degree of repute, because it's everything that Dark Souls was, but not many people noticed it. And for perfectly understandable reasons. Anyway, what am I doing? I'm returning to Stonefang Tunnel. Was I going to do something before doing that, or was I purely just wanting to reset the area? Probably just resetting the area. Yes. I will go to 1-4 and see if that crystal lizard is alive, because that crystal lizard is very easy to get chunks from. I've already acquired all of the large shards that I need. I don't know about standard shards. I don't think I've been getting many of those at all. But definitely in terms of large shards, yes. I've been getting enough of those. So, I'm obviously happy to buy the regular shards. That's not an issue for me. But, yeah. I will give 1-4 a try before resetting this one more time. Or resetting it the next time. Hey, good on you, man. Force Infinity says, I don't regret trading my 360 for a PS3. My first games were Metal Gear Solid 4, Demon's Souls, and Fallout. What a lineup. What a fucking lineup. This is the point. So many people were just aggressively humping their Xbox 360s, but not while the game disc was loaded in, because then it would scratch the disc. That whole console only did as well as it did because A, it was heavily marketed in North America, and B, they cut costs on its production, which resulted in poor management of, airflow. Let's just shorten that down. Poor airflow, which resulted in Red Ring of Death, and then obviously the whole disc scratching issue. Imagine having a console that would scratch your disc if you tilted the console while the disc was loaded. Can you comprehend that? I can't. I couldn't comprehend it at the time, and I still can't comprehend it now. And yet it's just a thing that exists. It's just, well, yeah, that's 360, man. That's what it is. Well, guess what? That's stupid. That's really fucking stupid. The only thing that the 360 had going for it over the PS3, really, well, there were two things. The first was that the 360 did technically have a better user interface. I think the 360 was nicer, bit of a better layout. It looked better. I didn't like the huge update that it got, I think in 2010 or early 2011. Around late 2010, early 2011, the 360 got a huge user interface overhaul, which I didn't like. I really liked the old one. But the PlayStation 3 didn't look quite as good. The other thing about the 360 that was notably better, although people wouldn't have realized this at the time, was that the disc tray was less prone to degradation over time, or failure over time. Which is a weird thing to say, because it's technically the simplicity of the disc tray that resulted in discs being scratched. Or maybe it's not the disc tray itself, maybe it was however the disc was held in place once it entered the console. Maybe it's not the disc tray. But my point is that the motor that was required to receive the disc in the PS3 was more prone to failure than the ejecting disc tray of the 360. And sadly, I can't even mention the Xbox 360 disc tray without thinking about that old prank call from the 360 days where the guy said that he got his dick stuck in his Xbox 360 disc tray. Again, my condolences go out to that guy. Maybe it's still stuck, who knows. Obviously, visualizations are abound as a person tries to understand why his penis would be out and positioned just the perfect way to get stuck in the disc tray. Like, why? What were you doing, man? But anyway, that really is the question on everybody's lips. What were you doing, man? Okay. That should be a lot of dead crystal. Oh, it's not as many dead crystal lizards as last time, actually. It was far less. Well, I'm really happy to hear that, Force Infinity. Between you and me, my penis also never got stuck in my Xbox 360 disc tray. I also never had a disc get scratched by my Xbox 360, and I kept my 360 in a vertical position. That's exactly how you be a risk taker, you know. I liked to live dangerously. I used to keep my 360 in a vertical position. But that was the best for airflow. And people who were getting Red Ring of Death were usually people who would have their Xbox 360 in a cabinet or something, lying down, and just the airflow was terrible. I would always have it open with good airflow vertical, in a vertical position, positioned vertically, whatever. The point is that because I did that, my Xbox 360 has really survived the test of time. It's funny to think that my 360 is perfectly fine, runs just as well as it did back then, or runs just as fine now as it did back then, and yeah, the reason why is because I ensured that it had good airflow. Whereas other people were like, "Wow, put it in my cabinet." No, it's recirculating hot air. Oh no, it's got red ring. So really, it was a combination of people being fucking stupid and the console not really being able to, I don't know, deal with its own airflow, that Red Ring of Death was such a prominent issue. I can't drop only 16, can I? Oh no. Or less than 16, I mean. I don't need these clearstone shards, so I'm going to drop some of them so that I can pick up what's over here. Great! More clearstone. And then I'll pick up... Oh no, you're not even going to give me what I can pick up out of that pile. You're just going to say, no, you cannot pick up this whole pile. Thank you. I have yet to actually acquire a chunk, and the reason why is no doubt because I'm in pure White World tendency. I would have definitely picked up a chunk or two by now if it were in a darker tendency than this, but sometimes you just got to get what you're given. I'm going to value my world tendency here. It's going to be, like I said, helpful when I get to higher levels of new game. It's going to make the game more playable, okay? No, you should be at pure black for everything. Make the game as hard as possible. Fuck off. I'm here for fun, not to prove a point. Or to demonstrate my ability to people. An ability that, quite frankly, no longer exists. Not substantially, anyway. If it looks like I'm looking at the webcam, I'm actually looking at my preview in the back. Just adjusting the game volume. Like I said, I think the first half of this live stream just was too loud. Far too loud. It's the sort of thing that pisses me off. Oh, that's one thing that I forgot to do. I forgot to go and get Deathcloud. Let's do that now. While I'm remembering to do it. I think that's, yeah. What have we got? So. That's probably Acid Cloud, right? Yeah, so that's like a greenish... Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely... Those are definitely different characters. So that's Smoke Cloud. Poison Cloud is this. Yeah, very different character. And that's Death Cloud. Is that the character for she? Probably. I don't know. I feel like I would recognize that character, but I don't recognize it there. Oh no, I think that is the character for she. I think I specifically looked at that character once and it seems to look roughly like that. I remember the letter E being somewhat visible there. Oh, Shine. Okay. Shine? Really? Oh, right. You're writing Shine. Okay. That's more like to die. Shine is... Well, that has wide use, but just death on its own is she. But anyway. So cool. That's Death Cloud. Let's go and
Bring me more
acquire that. And now I don't have to worry about it. Let's go and get... hold on. Yeah. Let's go and get our chunks. How confident I am. What I really want to do is see if the Crystal Lizard of World 1.4 is still alive. And if it is, then I'm probably going to get my chunks. Even if it's pure White World tendency, I'm sure I can manage it. I've been drinking port while playing this exact game out of this exact glass since 2019, so cheers to that. Well, Shine directly translates as go die. But anyway, looks like I left. Oh, I'm not at all surprised to see that I left the Scraping Spear Black Phantom alive. It seems that I did, however, exhaust the life, or cause the Crystal Lizard to expire, we could say. I'm not at all surprised. What I'm going to do, and this is kind of dumb because I'd rather not engage this guy. But I'm going to do it. Hello, come on, don't be shy. I can't see what you're doing. Yeah, come on. I'll thrust you then. It's probably good damage. He's still alive, prick. Yeah, good night. So the reason why I'm doing this is because there is a Crystal Lizard that I definitely haven't exhausted yet. Or exhausted the spawns of. Who's just over here? Is this dragon still here? I haven't killed the False King? Wait. Is this the usual cutscene? No, it's not, is it? No, it is. I haven't fought the False King yet. Why was it playing that music? I am not currently prepared to deal with you. So if you could just stop for a brief moment, let me recover from my sphincter completely losing all control over my inevitable bowel movement that took place when you attacked me from behind. Ugh! Alright. I can deal with him, I just need to be in the position to do so, and I certainly wasn't when I was facing away from him. The False King is alive, ladies and gentlemen. And I would have found that out when I spoke to the main in black and then realized that, oh hey, I can't actually progress to New Game Plus, which means that there is a boss that's still alive, and that would actually mean that the only one would be the False King. So I haven't fucking killed him. Was I attempting to kill him? begs the question as to how I managed to get as many souls as 340,000. I don't know how I did that. I'm so stupid. Why didn't I put this stuff away? I don't need any clearstone. As much of a hoarder as I am, I'd rather... Oh, yeah, you would give me sharpstone chunks, wouldn't you? Fuck you, I don't need sharpstone chunks. In fact, I have a distinct feeling that I was getting sharpstone chunks from the other enemies. Do I have Bior here, by the way? I do. I can see him up there. Oh my god. I just need to verify for myself whether or not King Allant has been killed. Because this is extraordinary. If he hasn't been killed, then... I suppose what's going to really make it clear is if Ariona Allant spawns over here. Oh no, he hasn't. He has spawned... Oh, what the fuck? I haven't actually done any of this. What's wrong with me? How did I accumulate 340,000 souls without even killing the false king? And why didn't I use those souls when I had the chance? Both before the recording of this live stream and after the beginning of its recording. I guess I'm consistently stupid across a 1 year and a year and a half period. There you go. I can speak English. I believe in myself. How you doing, Ariona? Stop it. You deal way too much damage. Do you know that? He could have backstabbed me, but he didn't. I'm glad that he fucking didn't. Look at him go. I do, by the way, still need to make a build for... No, I think I did have an Ostrava build, didn't I? I think I did make an Ostrava build where I had the rune sword and the rune shield. Pretty positive that I did. It's an easy one to make. Probably not easy to do in New Game Plus and beyond, but... Yeah, seriously. It does actually look like... Oh, fuck off, I don't need your rune, whatever you're giving me. I don't think I should be taking him on now, should I? Do I have what I need? Am I going to do it? I've got 145,000 souls on hand. Is that a good idea? What did I come here to do? I came here to acquire chunks of hardstone. I'm not going to be prevented from doing that by killing the final boss, so I suppose we could do that. Yeah, I'm doing it. Fuck. What is my best weapon to do this with? Crescent Ujigatana, I guess. Two-handed. With warding permanently in effect. Oh my god. This is... yeah, okay. I'll do the best that I can, seriously. There is no guarantee of success. I'll do the best that I can, and that's all I can really promise of myself. Dutch courage. I should have enough spice for this. Should. Let's see what sort of damage I'm dealing. Good day. Nope. I'm not dealing enough damage. Unless I can get bleeding off on him. Which I might be able to achieve. We'll see how we go. That's not how I wanted that to eventuate. Or have I got... no... For a second, I thought I saw the damage. I think... Are you motherfucker? I thought I was out of range of that! I genuinely thought that I was. He always misses me with that fucking attack, but not today, of course. That would hit me, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's fine, you do that. That's bad news, that's bad news. And I've used the wrong... That's fine. Two things really pissed me off there. The first was that I severely underestimated the range of his Soul Sucker maneuver. The second was that I equipped the weakest fucking grass that I had on hand to heal myself out of that shit situation. I'm really pissed off about that. I could definitely take on the False King. It is within my capabilities, but I just fucked it up stupidly. Just with a slight miscalculation of the range of his Soul Sucker. The reason why I stood there in front of him as he did it was because I genuinely didn't think that he'd be able to grab me, but this is how it works. He doesn't actually advance the distance of his reach. Do you know what that means? It means that if he fails it, you only see him advance a slight distance ahead of where he's standing. Which makes you think, oh, his range isn't actually that great with it. But the reality is that he fucking automatically appears in front of you and grabs your fucking face and sucks your level. So what stat was affected by that? He stole my fucking intelligence stat. Intelligence is at 39 instead of 40. Thank you for that. You insufferable prick. Don't you dare cause my death here, you fucking crystal lizard. Stop you! You're gonna cause my death. It's been killed. You're gonna fucking not get me killed for this. I can't even pick it up. Alright. Yeah, just drop this clear stone shit. I don't need it. As if I need it. Do it. Hurry up. What have we got? 8. That's some kind of hard stone. That's pure hard stone. I don't want pure hard stone. It's very charitable of you, game, but I mean, at what is effectively pure white fucking tendency. Stop. God, I don't want pure fucking hard stone. I'm dropping my Shardstone. I don't need it. I'm not in need of it at all. I might be a hoarder, but I'm not that bad. It's gonna hit me. Oh, I got hit for fucking nothing because apparently I still don't have enough free space. I'm just gonna... You know what I'm doing in this situation? Crescent Moon. Fuck it. Yeah, full heal Crescent Moon. 40 vitality, or 30 rather. Technically 31. I'm really pissed off, just generally. I wouldn't mind a more sensible miscalculation than what I ended up miscalculating against the False King. That really upset me. That's right. I may have sought to ameliorate my health situation, but I did not do so for my weight burden situation. That's 140,000 souls lost. For a total, ladies and gentlemen, of 380,000, and sorry, 480,000 souls lost in one fucking live stream of this game. 480,000 souls. Oh my fucking god. And that, quite frankly, was caused purely out of a desire to upgrade my fucking bastard sword, which quite frankly The difference between +9 and +10 is negligible. Fucking negligible. I may as well be pissing in the wind. Let's just keep attempting to kill the False King. It needs to be done anyway. Oh, yeah, good for you. Advance in the perfect direction to prevent my circling of your body. You red-eye fuckwit. Get over here. Get over here. I've got archers to deal with. Bastard. Alright, hurry up and kill the fat official. Hurry up. You are currently seeing the thief ring in action. That Red-Eye Knight is not pursuing me at all, practically. Oh my god. So pissed off about how things have transpired. I'm not even... I don't give a fuck. At this stage, I don't give a fuck about chunks of hardstone. You've got to be joking. After what I've just been through? No. Couldn't give a shit. That was great. My game is on like 5 FPS. Shut up, Bior. I do appreciate your contribution to my cause, but I'm really pissed off. Everything just went downhill after that False King confrontation. Losing 140,000 souls after I'd already lost 340,000. Fuck off. What a joke. And I didn't agree with the manner in which I died. It just didn't feel fair. The soul-sucking maneuver had a range that was not visually expressed in the animation of the attack. It's very unfair. Whatever. My only choice is to live with the consequences. And I'm doing so now. Just fucking walk through the bog gate. Don't waste my time. Basically, you have to wait until the grate has really, truly moved all the way out of the way. I pressed the button to evade, but clearly not with the right timing. See, that attack, the timing of it is nowhere near, or rather the range of it visually is nowhere near as strong as it actually is, or as distant as it actually is. I should not have Crescent Moon equipped right now. I'll be out of range of this, that's fine. Hello. Congratulations, man. He is outwitting me completely right now. He's outwitting me completely. I was doing all the right things last time I engaged him, but I'm currently fumbling. And that needs to stop, because I don't have that luxury right now. Don't do that. I don't have the stamina. I almost didn't have the stamina, but I do now, apparently. Stop. Do not have the luxury of taking another hit. Not like that. You can do that as many times as you want, mate. It's much to my benefit. Okay, warding is almost out. I'll heal. I don't want to be here right now. Not with you like this. I need to reapply warding. This is very important. Whoa, what are you up to? He didn't even know what he was up to at that point. Alright, we're part of the way there. A bit past halfway, which is helpful. That's good damage. Does a bit of the work. Yeah, you do what you're doing. Can get 2 attacks out, roll. Walk to the side to avoid. I'm not going to do a strong attack there, that's stupid and highly pretentious. Yeah, look at that. Honestly, Old Spice is complete overkill for the amount of magic that I actually have to use with the Insanity Catalyst in effect. Or rather, in use. Whatever you want to say. In effect. Oh, whatever, mate. You and I are well matched, are we not? You have a brilliantly designed AI for combat, and I've fought you many times. And he's fucking dead, bastard. I had no business failing the confrontation in the first instance. As far as I'm concerned. And acquiring 151,000 souls is no consolation for the loss of 140 of them before I'd even engaged him in combat. What a fucking joke. Force Infinity says, I feel like I need a drink after that. Well, the thing is, he's the proper final boss of the game. Anyway. Yeah, that was annoying. Of course, I would get pure hardstone instead of the real hardstone that I wanted, which was chunks. Much easier to get, statistically speaking, but whatever. No. Don't want to repair, I want to upgrade. So, I've not acquired a single chunk, and I, at this stage, am in possession of not even a single fuck. I'm just going to move on to New Game Plus 2 and finish things up. I've had enough fun for one lifetime. I'll return to the build again, but God knows when. I cannot comprehend when it's going to be when I return to this build. It could even be 2024, 2025 when I return to this build. So, who knows if I will have remembered all the details of what I had established for my forward progression here and now. Honestly. Fuck it all. I could always force myself to just farm back all the souls that I lose by playing like an idiot. It's tempting to do that, but I suppose I'm too lazy for it. I imagine that in the future I'll just grind a whole lot of souls and make up for all of my failings. Shut up. I'm currently using the Crescent Uchigatana as almost like a victory lap after having actually acquired Pure Dark Moonstone. It was definitely an achievement. Yeah, you can hit me, I don't care. I don't get to do the two-handed R2 all that often with the Uchigatana, and it's a very satisfying sort of strong attack, so I enjoy being able to do it here. It helps to attack in the direction of the person that you want to harm. Mr. Allen. Alright. I'm not taking the sword, I'm not interested in the sword. Skip that, kill the Maiden in Black, and then acquire the Beast Demon Soul instead of the Maiden in Black Demon Soul. And we've got the credits. Congratulations everyone, you finished Demon Soul. I simultaneously adore this game and fucking hate it. It's pissed me off many times, but it's also given me much gratification. Well, I'm supposed to press start on my controller. That's the Beast Demon Soul. There's no reason to not kill the Maiden in Black. It's who cares about the story. Get your Beast Demon Soul. The Maiden in Black Demon Soul is like 50,000 souls. The Beast Demon Soul is 200,000. Okay? You get what I'm saying? Don't worry about doing the right thing in the story. Just dominate the Maiden in Black and take the throne for yourself or whatever the fuck's going on in the story. I don't know. But you want the Beast Demon Soul, not the Maiden in Black Demon Soul. It's dumb. She dies inevitably, I think, so just kill her. Okay, so we've got the False King Demon Soul, and that's that one there, and then the Beast Demon Soul over there. So something no Demon Souls. Demon Soul. There you go. Apparently I can't read Japanese. Demon Soul. I'm tired. It's almost 1 AM. I hope you enjoyed. I haven't, this is again, for anyone unaware of this fact, the first time I've played Demon Souls in 1.5 years on my channel, and also in my own time. I enjoyed it, yet also experienced a little bit of frustration, but that's really Demon Souls in a nutshell. A comfortable balance of frustration and enjoyment. And quite frankly, my entire experience of Demon Souls, right from the beginning, for me, many years ago, could be characterized in that way. I thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time I'm recording something you'd like to watch, whatever that may be, and I bid you all farewell for now. Bye bye.